Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I would like to preface this video by saying this is something I am not proud of in any regard. This is absolutely something I am shameful about, and it's something that I'm not going to share this video on Facebook. I'm not going to share this video on anything. If you stumble across it, then that's how it was meant to be, but I do not want to go out of my way to like get people to see this video. Other than the fact that I am making this YouTube video about it. So, if that makes any sense at all. Damn, where do I begin? So this subject, I'm sure as you can tell by the title, is completely scandalous, completely, it's something that I'm sure some people can relate to. Some people might have their own experiences with this, because I certainly do. And I'm hoping that people can see this video and think, or maybe it can help them. Like, I'm hoping somebody can watch this video and then they're like, oh, that tells me something. Like, I hope that is what I can accomplish today. So I'm just gonna get right to the point. As you can see by the title, yes, I have had some of my own escapades with shoplifting. There's actually like several layers to this tale, so I'm gonna just go step by step. I'm completely trusting you with this knowledge. Like, I don't know, hopefully it does not go into the wrong hands, but I trust that you will not view me as some kind of shitty person for this, because everybody makes mistakes, everybody does things that they are not proud of, and I feel like if I just talk about it and just talk about what I learned, then it can maybe help my conscience a little bit, because it does weigh on me sometimes. And it might get darker throughout the video because it's like nighttime and I'm trying to like get some sunlight, but there's hardly any, so try not to think about it, even though you're gonna visually notice, but whatever. So, let me start right at the beginning, as usual. The first time I ever had any incident with shoplifting was when I was 5 years old. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, literally, I don't even think I did that right, but literally that was so young, so innocent of me. Like, I did not really know what was going on, but I mean, I think I did have a clue, like, that it was wrong. But what happened was, I was at a kiosk, like one of those things at the mall, like where you like buy a little, like one of these like tables, like, whatever, they're selling stuff on it. I was 5 with my mom and she was looking at toe rings and she's like, oh yes, this toe ring, she's like checking them out and talking to the lady that was selling them. And me, my shady 5-year-old self, I like go over to the toe ring and I'm like, ooh, and I liked it because, I was like, bitch, I was like a gay little 5-year-old and I wanted that toe ring. So I grabbed like a few and I took them and I put them in my pocket. And when we were leaving, I was like having my hand in my pocket like a dumbass. And my mom is like, Frank, why do you have your hand in your pocket? And I pulled my hand out like a dumbass with the ring in my finger. Rings. I think I actually kept a few though, because I was shady even when I was 5. Ooh. This isn't my house, I don't want to answer. So anyway, my mom, made me give the ring back to the lady, and she actually ended up taking me to a police station where the police showed me like cells of people that were in jail. Like they didn't show me any actual prisoners, but they showed me like the cell, and the toilet was gross, and like the bed was not comfortable looking, and it just didn't look like a fun place. I was 5 years old, and it was really showing me that, I shouldn't get into this shoplifting thing, because that's where I could end up. And at the end of it, they gave me a little teddy bear and it was really cute, and I'm really like, it was nice that my mom wanted me to like learn my lesson, but I guess I did not, because later on in life I had even more continuous infractions with that. I guess when I got a little older, when I was like, I don't know, a teenager, like a young teenager, like 13 to like 17, I would occasionally like, I don't know, get into the shoplifting thing. Like it would come and go, where I would like sometimes take something from a store. I don't know, stupid stuff that I just didn't have to do. Like I like with my cousin once, we stole like some gum from a gas station, and like just to get off on it, just like, ooh, like stealing something, so crazy, so fun. But no, it is not fun. The first real incident that I had with shoplifting where I got into an altercation was when I was with one of my close friends, and we were just strolling around in Sephora, and this is something I regret, I'm just gonna say that right off the bat, but we decided that, like we wanted to just steal some things from the store because it was super expensive, and we're like, fuck these prices, we're stealing some stuff. And we did it really sneakily, and we had actually been doing it before. Like me and this friend kind of got into this habit of shoplifting at places. Like we would, you know, go to different stores and like take things. And at first it started out really small, and it, you know, got worse as many addictions do. You know, it was something that we kind of got hooked on. And I really respect this friend, and this person is really wonderful and like totally, you know, has grown since that. Like, you know, I don't judge them at all. And it was kind of, I guess, me, like, you know, making it seem like it was okay to do that. But basically, long story short, after we grabbed all the things we wanted out of the Sephora, you know, I got a lot of skincare stuff and like little items that I thought were, you know, I mean, I always liked makeup and whatever. So we agreed to separate, and we walked separately out of the Sephora. You know, we took all these things and nobody had a clue. And as I was walking out of the JCPenney where I was, you know, I see this little kid, and the kid is like playing and like having a cute time. And I'm like, oh, the kid, you know, whatever. Like I just stole a bunch of shit, I'm happy, and I'm seeing this cute kid. And then I see this like guy, like this big guy, and like basically you can imagine like Dwayne Johnson, like The Rock. That was literally what he looked like, with all the tattoos and the big bulging biceps and all that. And he's like, comes up to me, and I'm like, oh, you know, maybe this is like the kid's dad or something, I don't know. And he grabs me like by the arm, and he's like, you're coming with me. And I'm like, fuck, like this, like fuck, you know, like he caught me. And so I'm like, oh, is there a way that I can just like give you this stuff, you know, like I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to do that, like I totally did. It was just so awkward and so awful, and like they dragged me and my friend. I tried to like warn her, but it was too late. I tried, you know, we had to deal with this. Like they called the police, and we got arrested. It was so embarrassing. You know, her father was there, and he looked at me with like this look, and like, you know, just the disappointment in myself. And then my dad had to come and pick me up. So it's just like, it was just awful, like this awful, awful thing. And then on top of all this, I mean, we were underage at the time, so it didn't go on a permanent record, thankfully, but we had to go through this program where, you know, I had to like be around all these children that had committed crimes. Not children, they were teenagers, like older, like 17 like me, and they all committed crimes, and I had to be in this group, and I was like my little frank self, you know, innocent, like, but I had shoplifted, so I was there. And, you know, I had to go through this whole thing for months. And at the end of it, they took it off my record, and nobody ever was gonna know about it. You know, like that was it. And my friend and I, you know, we kind of grew a little bit apart after that, because it was really such a hard experience to go through, and it really shook us. So, you know, I should have learned my lesson right then and there. I should have just never done it again after that. You know, learning, you know, what it did with me and my friend, what it did with me and my dad, like, you know, just totally seeing me like, you know, as a, like, just totally losing some respect for me with that. And, you know, my family saw some of that, you know, and it was just so bad, and just, it was awful. So, it stopped for a while. After, you know, for a bit, I stopped with it, and I didn't continue the shoplifting. You know, none of it happened. And then as I got a little older, it started to like happen again. Specifically with Walmart. Walmart was the store that I chose to be like my shoplifting place, because I had all these notions about Walmart. I mean, they're pretty accurate, but it didn't really give me an excuse. Like, basically I was like, oh, Walmart doesn't pay their employees enough. The Walton family is like the richest family in the world, and they can totally afford for me to steal some shit. You know, it's a corrupt organization that totally undermines small businesses. Like, these are the things that I'm thinking, and I'm like, okay, so this makes it okay for me to just occasionally take something from this store. Like, if I had to pick a place to steal from, I think Walmart, in my mind, I still think that it would be like the least harmful to anybody, you know? Nobody's really getting hurt personally from that, in my mind. So, I made Walmart my place, and I would go and I would steal makeup mostly. Like, you know, me being my little frank self, you know, I wanted this little eyeliner pencil, I wanted this and that and the other, so I would occasionally take these things. You know, I did it when I was a boy, and then I continued to do it when I transitioned and when I was living as a female. I, you know, really wanted to like grow my makeup collection. This is not right. Like, I'm saying this, I regret this in hindsight, but in the moment I was like wanting all this, and I was getting away with it every single time, you know, no big deal, like no problem. I would get away with it. And at the time, my boyfriend, you know, happened to notice my habit, and he was like, hey, you know, you should stop. Like, you should really not be doing that. Like, you already got in trouble once. Why are you doing that? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's Walmart. I don't give a shit. So I continued my escapade in Walmart, and I'm stressed talking about it. And I never got caught for about, I don't know, a couple years. Like, I got a lot of shit from there. And I don't know if I should be admitting this. Ooh, damn it, I gotta go. Okay, sorry, I'm back with different lighting. So, what was I at? Oh yeah, so I got into this really bad habit that was something that I was doing at the Walmart all the time, and I never got into an issue. And then one day, I continued my routine. You know, I walked throughout the store. I actually went and I did purchase some items, you know, like some food and like an outfit, I think. You know, I was like trying to do some stuff. Keep in mind, I have like a black wig on, and like, you know, I was looking how I was at the time. And then, so as I'm trying to leave, you know, I'm like, okay, I did what I needed to do. I'm like leaving the store now. I'm walking out of the Walmart, and a man grabs me by the arm, and I'm like, oh, like, no, he didn't grab me at first. He was like, ma'am, and I turn around, and I'm like, oh, and then he like grabs me, and I'm like, oh shit, and they bring me into their little office. You know, long story short, I had to go to a court date, and I had to talk, you know, to the judge, like, you know, looking how I was at the time. I went, and he was like, Frank D'Alessandro, and I go up, and I'm like, hi, and he's like, you're not Frank, and I'm like, yes I am. Like, it was awkward. And I told the judge, you know, I looked this judge in the eye, and I, you know, looked at him, and he kind of looked like, if you want a visual, he kind of looked like a cowboy. Like, he was like kind of like looking at, he was from Texas or something, and he's like, so, you know, what are you, like, what is your response to this? Like, you know, what do you feel about what you did? And I said to him, you know, I feel really ashamed. I feel really embarrassed. You know, it's just, I'm like really disappointed in myself, and I really just know that I, you know, made a mistake and I should not have done it. And I guess he didn't know that I had done it in the past, like, because it wasn't on my record or anything. And he said, okay, you know, you seem like you mean it, because I really did mean it. Like, I genuinely was like so embarrassed and so disappointed in myself for getting into that again. And the judge was actually, like, he took pity on me, and he just let me go. He withheld adjudication and just did not judge me, you know. He said, okay, you know what, like, I'm dropping it, like, you can just leave. And I was like, wow, you know, like, yet again, I'm like spared of having this on my record, and I get to go free. You know, I don't have to go to jail, I don't have to like do anything. I ended up having to pay a lot of money to Walmart, like, that's another story. But, you know, I pretty much got out of it unharmed. But after that, it really just like sunk into me, you know, that I can't keep doing that, you know. Like, I genuinely had an addiction for a while, like, to doing that. And when the judge let me go the second time, like, and I didn't have anything that I had to, like, you know, I like paid all my final stuff that I had to pay, and I was free. I decided, like, you know, this is like, that was it, you know, like, I can't do that anymore, and I'm not gonna allow myself to do that anymore. And I drew a line in the sand for myself, you know, I put my foot down for myself, and I said, you know, I'm just not going to be that person. I'm not gonna let myself get into that situation again, and I'm not going to, you know, I'm not gonna put that risk onto myself anymore. Like, I genuinely learned my lesson with that, you know. Like, the first time I guess I didn't, and the second time I'm like, oh my god, like, I am not going down this path. Like, this is the point where I can choose to not, you know, get into any more trouble, and I do not want to get in any more trouble, and I want to just do the right thing. And then now, you know, every time I go to Walmart, anytime I go anywhere ever, I just pay what I need to pay, you know, pay whatever it costs, get what I need to get, not what I want. Like, I just get what I need to get, you know, sometimes what I want to get, whatever. And I have a completely clean conscience because I know that, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I'm obeying the law. You know, every time that I did, like in the past, you know, those 2 times that I did get caught and I did have the problems, I would say, you know, oh, please, like, can I just pay for it now? Can I just pay for it now? And they were like, no, you should have done that the first time. And I learned my lesson, you know, I learned that it's not worth it. You know, whatever I was gonna be getting, like whatever items that I was obtaining from, you know, just jacking all this crap from Walmart or wherever I was doing it from, at the end of the day, it really just was not worth what I could end up losing from that. You know, getting, like, you can get away with it tons of times, sure, you know, there's gonna be, maybe there'll be 50 times that you don't get caught. Maybe there'll be 100, maybe there'll be 1,000 times that you can get away with something. You can do something and you can do it just the right way and you can be so sneaky and never get caught. But there's gonna always come some time eventually. There's every time you do it, there's just gonna be a risk that you will get caught. That some camera will be watching you, that some way, somehow, what you're doing will be discovered. And it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to have it on your record. It's not worth it to have your family find out and be so disappointed in you. It's not worth it that you could, you know, lose friends if they're involved. It's just like, there's so many components that just make it so not worth it. Like, what was I really getting out of it at the end of the day? Like, what, I got like some makeup, I got like some skin stuff, you know, like, and I could have paid for it anyway. Like, I could have put it on my credit card or something if I desperately needed it, but I didn't need it. And that's really like the point of it all, is that it's like, it was a problem and I just let the problem exist and I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And I didn't do anything about it until I got caught. This is something that really affected me and really bothered me on a deep level, and it has bothered me for a long time because I just kind of kept it to myself. And I know that it's something that people, you know, might judge me for, but it's something that I really believe that if you do have a problem with this, if this is something that you know, partake in, or if it's like, you know, your little hobby or something you do every now and then, I totally get why. I totally see where like the thrill of it comes from, but it really just is not worth it. And you can really damage your future and damage a lot in your life if you just let this go unchecked. And you know, I hope that if somebody watching this can see from my mistakes and see that I, you know, had to go through something like that, and maybe spare yourself and spare that kind of agony and stress and pain and financial struggle and everything that would ever come with it, you know, your future, just hopefully you can spare yourself that, because, you know, it's just not worth it. So with that, thank you for watching. I hope this video doesn't change your perception of me or anything, because, you know, I'm totally a pure thing. I don't have any problems with this anymore. I'm like literally free of it. But I just really hope that some people can get something out of it, because it's just, I wish I could have seen something like this before I got into all this trouble. In the past, it was years ago, but you know, it's still burdened me. So with that, I love you very much. We are all humans on this earth together, living right this moment. And we all have that in common. We all breathe air, we all take a dump, we all get headaches sometimes, we all have family and friends and troubles and things that we have to worry about, and I'm totally understanding you on that. Life is not easy, but if you look at it in a positive way, it will be more positive for you. So hopefully I can bring some positivity to you, and you can keep it with you, keep me with you, keep my love with you. And I will see you in the next video, and I will see you in the next dimension. Okay, bye.